Okay, guys, Rise of Skywalker has been out for an entire week now, and the reviews have been mixed. It's actually rebounded from the disappointing opening weekend box office. It had a strong Christmas Day, but I'm not here to really talk about the box office. I'm here to really defend George Lucas. And with that being said, Palpatine really should have never returned in this movie. It was a bad idea. It made absolutely no sense. And when Kathleen Kennedy said that it was always a part of the plan to bring back Palpatine, we all knew that was a lie. I mean, Colin Trevorrow has said that when he was writing episode 9, Palpatine was never a part of the plan. And the man himself that plays Emperor Palpatine, he's absolutely shocked that he was returning, because he even said George Lucas would have never brought Palpatine back, because George Lucas confirmed to Ian McDiarmid that he is dead. Dead as a doornail. And this is the quote directly from Ian McDiarmid himself. "I thought I was dead. I thought he was dead, because when we did Return of the Jedi, I was thrown down the chute to galactic hell. He was dead. And I said, oh, does he come back? And George says, no, he's dead. So I just accepted that. But then, of course, I didn't know I was going to be doing the prequels. So in a sense, he wasn't dead, because we went back to revisit him when he was a young man. But I was totally surprised by this. Totally surprised that he was coming back for the sequel trilogy. There was no plan. There really wasn't any plan. I mean, maybe somewhere in Kathleen Kennedy's crazy mind, she thought that it was a part of the plan, but it was clearly not a part of the plan. And once again, you see George Lucas disrespected completely. And we're hearing rumblings that George Lucas was absolutely furious that they brought back Palpatine, because apparently him and J.J. Abrams came up with the idea to do the Son of Mortis arc, and Matt Smith was going to be in the role. And we do know that Matt Smith was cast. He probably shot scenes, and they threw it out, because apparently Kathleen Kennedy said that Son of Mortis isn't going to really connect with the general audience. So that lets you know everything you need to know about Star Wars, where they want to go with it. They're going to start, changing stuff around. They're not going to respect the wishes of George Lucas. Kathleen Kennedy never was going to respect the characters that he created, because she's pretty much killed most of them. Most all of them are dead now. Luke, Leia, Han, all gone. That ship is sailed. George Lucas was disrespected by Kathleen Kennedy. We know that. But when they let Rian Johnson run really, really wild with Last Jedi, they were fresh out of villains. Kylo Ren was never really a villain. We know that. I've said that before. They needed someone that people knew that would get the butts in the seats. Snoke wasn't doing it. Rey wasn't doing it. Finn and Poe weren't doing it. Rose Tico definitely was not getting butts in seats. Palpatine, that'll get some butts in seats. No doubt about that. So enter Emperor Palpatine. But Ian McDiarmid said himself he was very much surprised. Very much surprised. Because J.J. Abrams actually called him a year ago and said, we're thinking about bringing the Emperor back. Thinking about that. Ian McDiarmid was not prepared to come back. He just wasn't. And I truly believe that George Lucas was never going to bring Palpatine back. Not in his treatments of 7, 8, 9. Maybe he would have some kind of a presence, but he was never going to actually come back to life. Because even George Lucas knows the ramifications of bringing Palpatine back. that means you just have to bring him back to put him down once again. And it has to be Anakin to put him down, because if Anakin doesn't put Palpatine down, then the prophecy of the Chosen One is all for nothing. And that's where Rise of Skywalker does so much damage to the canon. Anakin is no longer the Chosen One. Pretty much everything that happened in episode 6 is all for nothing. You know, Luke getting electrocuted, Anakin dying, killing the Emperor, and just killing himself, in other words, even though the Emperor in Rise of Skywalker says he died once. Well, he didn't die good enough, because he's back, and Anakin really does nothing in Rise of Skywalker except for a little pep talk to Rey with a bunch of other voices. So it retcons the prophecy of the Chosen One, and now Rey fulfills the Chosen One prophecy because she's the one to take out Palpatine. Everything has been a mess. Everything has been a mess. Palpatine should have not returned. I didn't like what they did with him anyway in the movie. It was very different from what we've seen in the OT and the prequels. And it just leaves so many other plot holes with him coming back. It felt very, very strange seeing him back in that movie. He created Snoke. But if you look at the new canon, some things just don't add up. And if Palpatine was always a part of the plan, they did some poor job of planning things, because it's so off. Everything is just off. And I truly believe when Ian McDiarmid says that George was never going to bring Palpatine back, I truly believe that. It doesn't make any sense for Palpatine to come back in this capacity. It just doesn't. This whole trilogy now is a mess. I think this movie is the worst Star Wars movie ever made. Now, Last Jedi is probably the poorest made movie, but it didn't wreck canon on this kind of level. Yes, it made Luke a quitter and everything like that, but Rise of Skywalker now does so much more damage. All the new Force powers, retconning Anakin's sacrifice, it does a lot of damage. A lot of damage. If you guys disagree with me on that, go back and watch the OT and the prequels. Just go back and watch those. But man, Ian McDiarmid says George Lucas would have never brought Palpatine back. I agree with him. Do you agree with him? So guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comments. If you're new here to the channel, please hit subscribe to catch future videos from me, and we will catch you on the next video. John Matrixx, out.